Is another November Nintendo Direct waiting in the wings, or is it time to pack up our carts and mule on over to 2019? What's going on, guys and girls? It's Zach from Switchforce. Gabe is here, and a new rumor has appeared indicating that there might be another November Direct. Now, before the Smash Bros. Direct reared its head, we heard that there could be an upcoming Nintendo Direct. Obviously, that turned into the Smash Bros. Direct. That was the final Smash presentation and revealed plenty of the game, including the full roster, the DLC, and some of World of Light. But now we're going back to this well because new comments are stating that, in fact, there will be another non-Smash Bros. Direct, and it might be coming as soon as November 8th.
We will have a link in the description to Gaming Intel. They seem to be the source of this rumor, and they had been the source of this rumor even before the Smash Direct happened. They had said that there was 2 Directs coming in November. One already happened. Now they're saying that they're doubling down and that they are 100% positive that there will be another Direct this month. Now, of course, with every rumor, take it with a grain of salt. But, Zach, could you see this happening? Because for me, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, let's add some little nuggets of knowledge here. One thing that they're tying to this is the appearance of the YouTube app on Nintendo's website. We saw this late last week that people were coming across a YouTube app link on Nintendo's YouTube app page on Nintendo's website indicating a November 8th release date. Now that could be something that they'd want to talk about in a Nintendo Direct, especially if the presentation was to sort of wrap up the year for Switch and say, hey, like, we're finally bringing some apps to the platform. That makes sense. Since then, that page, I think, is removed and cannot be found, but the dates are coincidental. There also is the thought that Nintendo hasn't had a generic Direct since September. They have not talked about sort of the overarching Switch 3DS ecosystem since September 13th, but to counter that, if we look back at years past, late year Directs were always game specific. Now, that would fit in very well with Smash Bros. Ultimate having a late November Direct. But if we look back to 2016 and 2017, 16 brought us Directs for Animal Crossing. In Japan, they had Miitopia and Monster Hunter Double Cross. Those were the last 3 Directs of the year after a September normal Direct. And then again in 2017, we had a September Switch and 3DS Direct, and then in October, an Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Focus Direct, and in November, a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Direct. So if we go on past precedents, 2 years of game-specific Directs, and then the next full-blown Direct being in January, early January, maybe this is a game-specific presentation?
Yeah, but then what game? We just got the Smash one. It doesn't seem like Pokemon needs one at all. That game's out next week. So That's not happening. And they don't really have anything else for the rest of the year. So
the only thing I can think of, I'll give you 2. One is like maybe likely and one is highly unlikely. But I've seen Mario Kart Tour be thrown around because they do like to do specific presentations for their new mobile entries. And that game needs to come out before March to follow along with the investor notes and what they've said all along at the financial calls. So there could be some presentation on that if they want to build hype for Mario Kart Tour. The other thing I've seen thrown around is something that emphasizes and focuses on Fire Emblem Three Houses because they do love Fire Emblem and they do love to give dedicated time to that franchise, but it would be kind of out of the blue for that one.
Yeah, that one's definitely out of the blue. The game's not like coming in January or anything like that, so yeah, it's probably too soon for Fire Emblem. The Mario Kart Tour thing I can see happening, and I'm sure that's what you were referring to, but that one makes the most sense. That game needs to come out. They gotta start showing it a little bit, and I'm excited to see what that is. That should be a really good time, but yeah, as far as a regular Direct, I think January. Like, I think November, like, what are you talking about? Because we know so many of the early games coming next year. We imagine that, you know, Fire Emblem is one of the early-ish games, and Travis Strikes Again, things like that. We've seen a lot of those. And unless they have a lot of new announcements, or unless they make this another Nindies, which also doesn't make a ton of sense, yeah, it'll be confusing.
The last Nindies was on August 28th, so there has been a substantial gap between then and now, but they also had an August Nindies in 2017 and nothing following up in the fall. And given the fact that the focus right now is on Pokemon and Smash Brothers, it would seem a little bit odd to not or to distract from that. They do have the new Super Mario Bros. Deluxe Special Mega Package coming in January, but I don't think that requires any sort of additional presentation.
That's a re-release. Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, there's some like new stuff, so maybe re-release isn't the correct term, but it's a Wii U game, and a specific presentation for a game that most people have played like 90% of it or over 90% of it, but at this point,
right?
Yeah, that'd be a little strange to me.
Right. Now, I will take you back 3 years to 2015 when they did have a November 12th Wii U and 3DS Direct, but there wasn't anything. There was an E3 presentation then November, so there wasn't sort of the September middle Direct that we have seen recently to sort of, take care of those announcements. I don't know what you would really announce here. I mean, they just had a Treehouse where they showcased Yoshi's Crafted World. They obviously emphasized Pokemon and Smash Bros. So I don't know that you can put together a Direct that focuses on Travis and Daemon X Machina and maybe a Fire Emblem trailer. It would feel very odd. The 3DS side of things definitely seems slowed, where I don't know that they would announce anything. And hey, if there's another Direct, whatever it is, great. That's always exciting. But in spite of the confidence that Gaming Intel seems to have, and in spite of some Twitter rumor leaker peoples retweeting this and sort of echoing support, I can't look at this any real way that makes me feel confident that it's going to occur, just because there's not anything logical to sort of back it up, at least from my standpoint.
And that's what I was gonna end up saying. Like, I don't think this happens unless it is a Mario Kart Tour one. That one, yeah. that would fit in. And if that happens, cool. We will get to see what a very big franchise on a phone looks like, and that didn't go so well for Blizzard over the weekend, but Nintendo has a history of doing cool stuff on phones. I actually enjoy some of their games on phones. Nintendo games are like kind of the only ones I will play on mobile devices, so I am excited.
Interesting.
I'm excited to see how that turns out, but yeah, I'm gonna go with, hey, like, this isn't happening.
If it tied into the YouTube thing, I'm trying to think, like, is there enough to put together a presentation that focuses on like UI, online updates, things of that sort? I could say like, oh, maybe they want to announce a Smash Brothers, like test Smash, but again, they have been very clear that was the final presentation for Smash Brothers, and I don't know that, like you said, it's so close to Pokemon. It would feel very weird. Yeah. Another thing that I do want to mention is often there are Japan-only directs that focus on smaller titles. In 2016, there was a Called Set Revolt direct, a Miitopia direct, as I mentioned. So I suppose, like, Japan got a Dragon Quest XI direct last year. I suppose, like, there could be some just, like, region-specific direct that maybe focuses on something that really isn't on our radar right now. That to me is plausible, and maybe that's what this is referring to or referencing. But yeah, I can't work out a way that this makes sense. If they do, great, because that means that there's more stuff to discuss and more stuff to show. To me, if I had to like say like, okay, what could this be? It's number 1, Mario Kart Tour. Number 2, some sort of Nindies presentation, just because they always have so much. There's just so much coming in on that front. And then number 3 would be a small presentation on, like, I'm just trying to tie in YouTube, like online interface apps, but it would have to be much more fully featured than just YouTube. It'd be like, okay, we're bringing internet, Netflix, YouTube, and like this is a big enough deal to blast out about.
Yeah, see, if that's the case, then I don't even care. I like apps aren't for me. Like on my Switch, I'm not gonna watch YouTube on my Switch. So yeah, that one not for me. If it's the Mario Kart one, I'm all for it. If it's the Nindies one, I'm all for it. Yeah, that's where I fall with those.
Do note, just because I want to make sure that we're thorough here, that Nintendo did have a Direct Mini earlier in the year. January 11th, they titled it a Direct Mini, and then it was followed up in March by a full Direct. So could you do a 5 to 10 minute presentation on maybe like a game update, some of this YouTube stuff, maybe a little first glimpse of like Mario Kart Tour? I don't know. Like maybe they can put together a very small presentation, but a specific Direct that is 25 plus minutes seems far-fetched at this point. And we'll be getting far-fetched soon in Pokemon Let's Go, but I don't think that is worthy of its own special Presentation. Let us know in the comments down below what you think. Is there any way you can see a November Direct working out? If we are to believe this rumor, what the heck would it even be? Or do you think this is just a misguided thought that will not materialize into anything, and we, like I mentioned at the top, are packing up shop and waiting for 2019? Let us know in the comments down below, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch, and if there is a Direct, obviously, we'll be the first to let you know. You can follow us on Twitter and Discord for up-to-the-minute information and fun with other Nintendo fans. For now, though, for myself and Gabe, thanks again. Switch Force, out.